Good morning, friends in America. Good afternoon, those in Nigeria and the European parts of the world. And good whatever at every other part of the world, Australia, India, China. I thank you all so very much for joining me again on another edition of this The Israel podcast. I thank God that we're alive to witness another day. People die just about it every day, but it's fulfilling and gratifying to know that we draw breath still. I thank God for the fact that we're not sick. We can move around. We actually even woke up is a feat. Many slept last night and they did not wake up. I thank God for that opportunity that we all are alive today, and we have another opportunity to be with each other. Be rest assured, friends, that I do very much appreciate your coming on live. Flaming Olola Olaiton, thank you for joining me. Jabai, I'm assuming I got that right. I thank you so much for being here. My big brother in Abuja, Kunle Jadunola, thank you also very much for joining me. Vini Omoya Jesu Bamidele, I thank you for being here. Adeyinka Adewuyi, my kid brother, thank you all. I really appreciate all of you coming on live. Abdulkadri Kamaldin Adeyemi, hi, and how are you today? Today is June 15, 2016. It's about 8 a.m. in America. I think it's about 1 p.m. in Nigeria. And I guess it's about 1 p.m. in London now. Other parts of the world, please spare me. I don't know all those things. Thank you for thinking me beautiful. I appreciate you all. And really, for those that would not even be joining live, I must thank you in advance for the data that you're going to spare to use to watch this. Thank you very much. My name remains Toyinsola Ilori, and I represent The Israel. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. I hope that people will be happy to share advices and experiences if possible. For a fact, if we want to buy a car, for instance, the likelihood is that we would test run that car. We want to know how that car would work. King Oladetun Oluwaseun, thank you very much for being with me. Tewosholanke, Sunday Ajiboye, thank you all very much for being here. Sunday Ajiboye, I don't have a choice but to be blunt. That's how God made me. That's why I say to people, even though I know I hurt some people with my bluntness at times, it's not deliberate, it's just me. If you can deal with the truth, you'll probably like me, but if you can't deal with the truth, you'll probably hate my guts. Anyway, like I said as an introduction, if you want to buy a car, especially, you are likely to test run it, even if it's brand new. You want to go inside it, you want to drive it, or you want to feel one or two things about that car you want to buy. You don't just look at a car and then you put your money on it and say, okay, that's the car I want. Okay, I want a Mercedes, I want a this or that, a Toyota. You test drive it. That is the norm, we would all think. But when it comes to this issue of marriage, because many of us are born again Christian or Muslims now, because we are born again Christians and perhaps born again Muslims, we do not test run something very important to marriage, and that is the bedroom issue. We are told in church that God makes everything perfect, so to say. I'm not quoting any Bible, I'm just stating for a fact the things that we're told about God making things perfect. And usually anyway, by the time brothers and sisters in any of the faiths are coming together, it is assumed that the Holy Spirit led them to each other. But you know, there's so many spirits going on now. People are desperate and they just say God said. So having said that, a lot of people did not do anything sexually before they went into the marriage. But getting into the thing, they kind of find that they are not compatible. They are not compatible, not because they don't want to be compatible, but because I think this incompatibility that I want to talk about today is man-made, and that is the issue of female genital mutilation that we call circumcision in our part of the world. Now, when these two people come together, let's assume that the man is one with a very high libido and he's been begging the Holy Spirit to just help him to be able to come. He has fasted and spoken in tongues every time something has kind of wanted to like crop up feelings wise. And so, okay, now he wants to get married. He's happy that, okay, finally he can do the thing legally. But here comes a sister that had been mutilated as a baby. Those two did not test run. They didn't have the chance to be together. My understanding of that, the genital mutilation, is that usually women that were circumcised, they are not that erotic in bed. They don't respond. They can't respond. I'll tell the story of a young man. I have put something like that on my wall, and it's a true story. This guy is in Canada. He just told me that he wanted to get out of his marriage, and I was worried. I was wondering why he would want to do that. Here is someone that was not such a young man. He was in his 50s, and he suddenly wants to get out of a marriage that he barely just got into. And I asked him why he wanted to do that. He said his wife is just one piece of log wood in bed. And I said, what? I mean, haven't you tried this or that? What have you done? Because I just try to like just say the little I know about that. Have you done plate licking? Have you this and that? What really have you done to make this woman respond in bed? He said there's absolutely nothing he has not done by his own understanding, because I understand there is more he could have done when I discuss this subject with other people, but that the woman just does not feel anything. So when he kept on saying she does not feel anything, I now said, wait a minute, how is it possible from the crown of the head of a woman to the toe, to the what do we call the soul of any woman? How is it possible for any woman not to feel something? There must be a spot that you will touch that the woman will respond to. He said she was brutally mutilated. Unfortunately for him, this guy was in Canada, this lady was in Nigeria, so they did a lot of courtship and everything online. He just went home at the point that they thought that yes, they could get into marriage, and they were barely together for like a week, so he thought it was due to anxiety and things like that. Now that's one thing that is there. They didn't really have too long a courtship together. They had a long courtship online, but they didn't have it together. So by the second time he went to Nigeria, they were married, and then of course he brought her to Canada. And he said he's been suffering for 2 years because I think the first part of the marriage he tried, he enjoyed. He said the woman just didn't feel anything. She just does not feel nothing, and because she does not feel nothing, it's impossible for him. I mean, there's this thing that men say they like the ringtones and the talk and everything, but you see, this woman does not even feel anything for her to sound any bell. It is when you are hit, and you are hit in a way that the thing has entered your brain that you can moan or scream or whatever. Oh, before I go on, I should have done this earlier. Please, if you are not 18 years and above, do not bother to watch this podcast. This is something I should have even said up front. I apologize for that. If you get to this point and you know you're not 18 years, please don't bother to go on, because this is real and this is an adult thing. Now, having said that, I also there's this guy that's toasting me. So he just asked me jocularly, "Were you circumcised?" And I said, "Me, lie. No, I wasn't. Circumcision, okay, for where?" Then he now said, "If you are not circumcised, you are not going anywhere." I was like, "What's the big deal?" He said, "It's the biggest of deals, because he's had a few women that were circumcised and they just were not they couldn't respond." He said he's found that the women that are not circumcised are sexually more vibrant than the ones that are circumcised. He says the ones that don't get me in trouble today, go away. I'm not supposed to use bad words. If you like, just call yourself 8 years a Kure Bushman. He said that the women that were circumcised don't respond well. and that was an issue for him. So somehow he was always asking questions about circumcision. That is one aspect of that thing that circumcision has brought as a problem onto women. Now that's not even where I'm going today. Where I'm going is in the now many men or many people assume that a circumcised person, you know, I have said that they hardly feel anything. And because they hardly feel anything, a man with a fairly small or regular tool may not impact anything on them sexually. They don't feel anything because there's really nothing to feel outside that would make them feel anything inside. And then if the equipment is not massive, I understand, they hardly feel you even inside. I don't know how God made that thing. I am circumcised. So Nika says it's not true about all circumcised women. Some are even more sexually responsive because they are. I'm doing this just thank you, girlfriend. Anyway, that's what the men made me to believe. You see, I am not circumcised, so I can only listen to them and discuss or talk about whatever I was told. It's not impossible that maybe the ones they met were just the piece of wood, unfortunately. Now, what the point I'm making and where I'm going is that if you now have someone that was circumcised with someone that thank you, Yetunde Idowu Bodunde. You said I'm hitting the nail in the head. Thank you, I appreciate that. Now, with someone that is not enjoying, the tendency is for the woman to keep going round. What's she looking for? She's looking for that one person that will make her feel something. Yes, Yinka, you're right. MAJ, it is not only the clitoris of the woman that makes the woman feel something. But you see, if you have but again, I mean, let's be frank with each other. Don't we have some men that all they just do is come in and come out? All they do is to come in and to come out. They don't know how to arouse a woman. I have been with a man, and I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility, that will not try any form of foreplay because he's small. And because he is small, he says that if I am too lubricated for him, it slips out. He doesn't enjoy it. So without any, and you see the way I'm emphasizing any, it just comes in. And it is so hurtful. I am complaining, I'm hurting, but he's enjoying it. So it is not impossible that we have men that really don't even know what to do. That's an area and an aspect that I'm hoping that some of you who know will be willing to come out and say, look, if you have this issue. And you see, we assume that all men know how to make love. Not all men know how to make love. Oh. They assume they know how to make love. They think they know how to make love. But the reality on ground is that they do not know how to do it. All they know to do is just to get stiff, get inside, come out, get inside, just do their pumping, grunt, and get up. And then you leave the woman so unfulfilled. If it's a woman that was not circumcised, some can touch themselves. Some can do one or two things, at least to that part of their body. Now imagine one that has nothing to touch. How is that person supposed to deal with that situation? Especially when you have a man that doesn't know what to do. That's why most women that we think are promiscuous, they just keep going round. They just keep going round until they find that one that they really know how to do it. Yes, Nika, it's true. Not all men know how to make love. I don't know why they think they do. They actually think they are so this and that. But honestly, it's just that I think most women also aren't helping the men. For whatever reasons, you are not telling him that it's not hot. Maybe because you don't want his ego, and usually the ego, the thing just gets so bruised easily. Just tell a man that, you know what, you are not it, I'm not enjoying you. And everything falls flat. And if it's your ATM, like they call them now, you just want to make him even think he's the best of it. The ones that really amuse me the most, let me deviate, are my friends. These pot-bellied big men. And I'm telling them, these girls are just using you. Don't think that it's because of anything. They say, no, she says I'm good. And I will look at them and shake my head. Anyway, let's leave those ones for now. Oluda Remayowa says, Nika, if the circumcision is badly done. Okay, yes, I think so too. Because a lot of people are saying that. A lot of men told me this, Nika. You as a woman, you probably weren't circumcised and you didn't... Okay, Nika, let me ask you bluntly, and I know you're blunt. Were you circumcised? Tell me if you were circumcised. Because I know for a fact that yes, you do enjoy this thing and you make the best of it, but were you circumcised? Let's get to the blunt of it, or to the bottom of it. I know a lot of women, all the men I spoke to said the women that were circumcised were just a mess. Now, the way I'm going is that such a woman will keep trying many men. And here we are thinking she's a flirt. No, she's not. She's not satisfied. Especially by one that does not know how to do it well. And because she's not satisfied, we think she's a flirt because she's going round. She's going round because she's not satisfied. I want the man to understand that. That's the key thing. That's the lesson really for me today. I would appreciate if the men who know, because I wish Akin Tijani Balogun was watching me. Akin, okay, so you are not circumcised, so you really can't speak for women that were circumcised, Nikki. I wish you were circumcised, and then I can go and hear and bluntly say, well, if this mama is circumcised, believe me, she's having a good one. I'm not selling now. She's married, please, but she's my kid sister, and we just pull these stunts on each other. Anyway, having said that, I wish the men who know what to do, because I know some men know what to do. They know to go beyond beyond the clitoris area. They know what to do. They know how to. I've discussed it with a lot of men, and they know how to. Even this man that had this issue in Canada, I tried to explain. Maybe he's lost interest in his wife, and that is why he just could not see beyond what she can do. But I tried to explain what men told me that he can get into, the things he can do to make the woman feel something. But he just kept on saying she feels nothing. She feels absolutely nothing. Why are you afraid that you should not? Auntie, wish me well now. No, I'm not wishing you bad now. Maybe you said that the uncircumcised ones, some of them are very active. And I have a feeling that if you was uncircumcised, you would still have made the best of it. I trust you now. It's you. It's not any other person. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to. Okay, Olabisi, they say there are other. Yes, that's the thing. You know, Bisi, I did say that some men don't know how to make love, but they think they do, and because they do not know how to do that thing, unfortunately, they are with someone who's circumcised, who's not even helping their situation. So because they don't know how to make love, they now put all the fault on the circumcised lady. Now here is an opportunity for the men to please whoever knows what to touch and where to touch. I'm not a man, so I cannot say if you touch this, if this does not happen. Fortunately, I would say I'm not circumcised, so I can't even speak for the circumcised ladies and say, okay, if you do this or if you touch that or if you do that, you'll be able to get it done with. But please, if you know these tricks and things that can be taught men on how to deal with these circumcised ladies, let's really give this advice. This is what this is about. And for people to understand that the circumcised ladies going round, they are not prostitutes, they are not flirts, they are not useless. They go around because they are not satisfied, and they keep going around until they find that one man or two that really makes them feel like a woman. Yes, it is a very serious matter. Tewo Sholanke says, I might be correct about some women in Africa. However, here in the Western Hemisphere, where women are not circumcised, are very still during sexual activity. I think it depends on the individuality. Well, that's true, no doubt. I mean, we can't say all uncircumcised women will be active, just like we can't say all circumcised women will be inactive. Naturally, there will be exceptions to the rule, and that's the truth. Apostle Dafe says, this is a serious matter to me. It is indeed to me too, because I mean, instead of a woman to keep trying different men to discover the right man, why doesn't she teach a man how to touch her, to do her? We're saying, okay, I understand that too. I mean, rather than be trying different men, but do you think most men are patient to teach? A man tries a girl that wasn't responsive first or second time, he's lost interest. It takes a man that really, really loves you to teach you, or to even want to teach it. Once the man has not gotten the result he wants the first few, he just loses interest and he moves on. That's my belief. I may be wrong, but that's how I feel. And if he's not willing to teach you, or he's not even willing to stay around, what's there to teach? He can teach nothing. What did Nika say again? I think this is a clarion call on us women to help them if you cannot. Okay, Nika is saying that if a man doesn't make you feel good about yourself, don't pretend to the man. Well, that's true. Let the man know. But again, Nika, look at it from this angle. There is a man that his ego is like all pumped up, and then you suddenly tell him, guess what? You don't make me feel that good. And then, you know, some men will just think that you even wanting more, or how do I put this? It's just an ego thing for the men. That's let me just. It's an ego thing for them. It's they don't understand that they don't know how to do it. It's like, how dare you? It's not like you tell a woman that you can't cook. The first, I actually didn't know that was a horrible thing. I just said to one lady that, you don't even know how to cook. Your soup is tasteless. And she started crying, and I wondered why she was crying. I just spoke, in my too blunt, stupid ways. And the lady just started crying. And then I asked somebody, I said, why is she crying? But she doesn't know how to cook. And that one said to me, you don't say that to a woman. How can you say a woman doesn't know how to cook? It's like telling a man that he doesn't know how to make love. Everybody, a man doesn't know how to make love. Shouldn't you talk? I said, no, you don't talk. There must be a way to say it. Unfortunately, I think when God was distributing diplomacy, I wasn't home. But I'm learning that by force now. So I am more of a blunt. I just say it, and I assume that it's okay to do that. Of course, I mean, I'm learning now at 51 that it's not okay to be as blunt, especially when you are critiquing people. So yes, I agree. I think we women can help each other and ourselves by sincerely telling the men what we want. But again, I don't know. Yeah, what we want and what he, I mean, at some point he probably mistakenly touched some place or hit at some point that made sense to you. Maybe it's also good to communicate that out. Don't keep it in. Don't bottle it in. It doesn't make you like a prostitute. Doesn't. In fact, they want to hear all this nonsense talk. That's the funny thing. You will think if you open your mouth and run it like, yes, he's doing this and that, he's like casting you in bad light. He's not casting you in any bad light. They want to hear. In fact, they say the sweeter your ringtone, and I'm sure a lot of people know what I mean by a ringtone. The more excited, the more exhilarated these guys feel, and the more they want to do. So you cannot just sleep there like a log of wood. You have to make an impact. Adebayo Isaac Ekunda, you said some women pretend. If the woman doesn't feel anything, is there anything to pretend? Well, they will pretend that you are good. I'm hoping that is what you mean. But if the woman doesn't feel anything, most men know when women pretend now. I know a lot of men will tell me, look, if you are not into this thing, if the woman is not into it, they know, because they know, and they understand. If you've been with I mean, most of us, except we want to come here and start lying now, we've been with a bunch of women and we've been with a bunch of men. So usually when something is not right, or something is lying, or somebody is pretending, it's just kind of glaring. You won't feel the chemistry, so to say. So most men know when women pretend now. So it's just advisable, like Nika said, that we should tell these men when we feel that they are yeah, it's just this ego thing. Men want to hear that they are good, they are fantastic. So you don't say it so that you can have your peace. Unfortunately, you don't have that peace because you are not happy with yourself and with what is going on. Oh no, what is this about now? You talk. Oh, I don't like that. This is what you said. It's a very serious. Yes, it is. It's a very serious matter. Sex is all over the place now, and the way orgasm and coming is bandied around. Anyone who has never felt it will want to. Some will go to any extent. You can go to any extent for something that you feel. But if you're okay, look at that man in Canada. He's not interested in making his wife feel anything. He's almost like giving up on her. So what's there to feel? Except that I mean, I'm appealing to him. I hope he watches this. I haven't seen him come online, but I hope he watches. I'm going to draw his attention to it and want him to want this woman enough to teach her, or to find out what will make it work. Because if he doesn't feel anything, what's there really to? He's giving up on HRM Babatunde Ogala. Big brother, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you. But like Benga, thank you for coming on. Olayinka Shirioye says women should not pretend for any. Well, we all say we shouldn't pretend for any reason whatsoever. But if you, now that you have a man, maybe you have even tried to say the thing and the man took it so badly, the next time you want to shut your mouth, especially if the man that is kind of good to you. And you know what I mean by kind of good in our side of the divide, financially takes care of you. That's what it is all about. And that's the truth, except I want to come here and start lying. When a man is taking care of you financially, every other thing is, that's 75% of your love and everything in place. Chike says most circumcised women are not trusted. That's what I was made to understand too, and I'm glad that somebody is also corroborating that. And add that to the fact that a lot of women go into sex with a lot of fear in their minds. I think women in those times will not now again. A lot of women don't really know how to let go in order to go over that edge. You are right. Just like the men don't understand or know to make love. They think they do, but they don't. Most women too are on edge. Like, many women have never come in their life. They have never ever had orgasm in their life. And because they've never had orgasm, they don't even know it exists. And many can't say it out. That guess what? I have never heard it. So for many, it's just a function of going in and coming out, and that's it for them. And so I think people coming together to make love should do a lot more of talking about these things. Sex is beautiful if you are with someone that you enjoy it with. Now let me tell you one funny thing my late brother told me one day. He said, Sister Joey, why do you think a man falls in love with a woman and stays with that woman? I will now went naively because she's beautiful, because she can keep the home, because she dresses well. My brother looked at me and said, no, sister, men hold on to women that blows their mind in bed. Men hold on to women that blow their minds in bed. I was like, what? He said, yes. It's first about the sex before any other thing. That is why you will see an ill-behaved woman who cannot cook and the man would not go. The man just can't say to people, look, leave this woman alone, no, because what she is doing, the way she's handling me, nobody else can do it. He says that is why those men are stuck. I was wowed, and that opened my eyes a little bit to knowing that indeed, so that thing is that important. Ladies and gentlemen, Damilola says, yes, so HRM Ogala, I'm trying to say it as it is, just from the little bit that I know and that I've asked people like you about. Damilola Anifowoshe says, circumcised women have high sex libido, and some men like fast one, just sex, not uncircumcised have high. Well, it's not, I don't know if they have. I am not circumcised, and I don't think I have any high sex libido, and I don't think I like the first one. I enjoy it if I have to, if I want to. Well, if I'm emotionally attached to the man, it will probably blow my mind. If I'm not emotionally attached to the man, it will just be a wishy-washy thing. So I wouldn't completely agree that we uncircumcised women, we are super whatever. I'm not. I don't know about others. Tokwe Adeji Wura, thank you for joining. Risi Fernandez, thank you for joining. Dari Maiwa says, I don't agree that they go around to find satisfaction. They are frigid and don't even have... Seriously, because you say they are frigid, and the guy also making love to them feels they have, and they do not enjoy it, and they go round. I'm speaking from what I have heard from a few of them. They don't understand that it's because they are not circumcised. That's why they are not enjoying the thing. And unfortunately, the man or the men they are going to bed with don't understand what to do with them. So they just keep going until they are able to jam that man that knows what to do with them. So it's not because they are flirts or prostitutes. It's because they're just searching and wanting to, at some point also be able to boast as a woman that the sex was fantastic. Adeyinka Adewuyi says, if both husband and wife love each other very well, I know that the man is not satisfying her, like Apostle said. They can teach each other, no doubt. But how come this man doesn't want to teach his woman? Well, that's one man anyway. He doesn't make the statistics, and he doesn't speak for the generality of men. But truthfully, couples are supposed to, or partners, because I'm looking at this now I'm not even looking at this from the marital aspect, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. People make love and they're not married anyway. And the main thing is for people to just enjoy or want to um, uh, enjoy coming together in bed or wherever, sofa, floor, kitchen, table, wherever you choose to do it. Can't save my mouth. Oh no, what is your bluntness is infectious, man. Oh, we know that one now. Give me rest. And thank you though. I mean, that's a joke. I appreciate you. Oluwatoyin Adenike says, okay, you are actually confirming what BC said. That with the way it is carelessly thrown around, but the fact that people have sex around does not mean that. And again, who says that because this sex is being thrown around is not because these ladies are trying to find fulfillment or satisfaction, so to say? Because like I was made to understand, most circumcised ladies do not easily get satiated in bed. Thank you all very much for joining me today. Kafayat Inyoda Amino, I thank you. Tokwe Adediwura, I thank you for joining. Tewasholanke, you said maybe if someone opens up an adult store, then there can be other options. Yeah, but there are adult stores in Nigeria now. I mean, I have heard, I know of a bunch of such in Nigeria. It goes beyond opening a store. It's more of communicating and understanding that there are other things you can do. I am praying and hoping that someone like Nnameka Nwosu would watch this and please contribute. I'm also hoping and praying that someone like Akitijani Balogun would watch this podcast and please contribute. I'm hoping that someone like Gade Juma, because I haven't seen those three guys, would come on and explain to men who do not know. They don't know, but they don't even know they do not know. That's a horrible thing. It's different if you don't know and then you want to know, but they don't know and they do not know they do not know. That's the problem. If people like that will please come on and share. Yeah, Damlola, you're right. Teach the men your GA, whatever, all the other areas. Some men just don't know. I'm telling you, all some men know to do is just to go in, pump up and down. And I am hoping that I don't know if you want to do this, that Bamofin, Sonny, Olurotimi Odunton would also, just teach or share men whatever it is they can on this subject. I'm hoping that people who know will be willing to come out via comments later to explain it in totality. I mean, we do these things to share experiences and to be able to benefit off of each other. I'm hoping that people who know what to do will be able to help. Or if you feel that you don't want your name to be out there, because I've had a lot of men tell me things and they say, please don't put my name, you can send that to me via inbox and I'll be more than glad to post it out for you. To teach those who do not know what to do. Don't assume that people know and that they know what to do. Thank you all very much for joining me today. What is my big brother saying? You said, but is it right to judge a man? No, nobody is saying judging a man on the first date. And no, I haven't judged any man on the first date, sir. I have said that the man is actually even the one that's probably judging the woman on the first date because he didn't feel anything. But if both can communicate, for instance, if the woman feels nothing and he says, look, I don't feel anything, and he says, and the man is ready to try other things, you see, reason why I keep talking about hacking is because hacking has made lovemaking such an important thing. But you see, the reason why I like Akin's style is because he actually makes, from the way he says it, Akin is my aburo, so it's not as if I've ever slept with him. But you see, he talks about this thing and is so aimed at going to bed with any woman. It's not to satisfy himself, it's to satisfy the woman. And if a man has that, what's the word now? That thing at the back of his head that, okay, I am going to do this for you. I want you to have an experience that you've never had in life. The tendency to satisfy that woman, because I'm sure that kind of man is watching the woman's expression and wondering why she's not responding this way. Okay, maybe she would respond that, and then try some other things until he finds that yes, she's responding to that. So someone like Akin I mean, he said it many times, his sole objective is never even for himself. In satisfying the woman, he always satisfies himself. Maybe men can think about that and know that when you satisfy a woman, ultimately, you indeed really will be satisfying yourself. I thank everybody who's joined me today. Shola, my little sister, thank you for coming on. You said a lot of women die in silence because of the shame and the fact that their husbands may think they are free. Yeah, that's true. But I will think that if they have never really had a good time together, they just probably have never had a good time together. And men of these days, well, some men are funny, because when the woman, I've had situations that the woman would bring a style like she probably learned that from some group or something, and the next thing the man is asking is, oh, do you have a boyfriend now? Why are you talking about things that you've never done before? It does happen, but I hope that a lot of people will be a little bit more open-minded about this thing and understand that it's for the good and it's not because the woman is promiscuous or any such thing. Like I said, I hope that the men who know would please come on later with comments to let the men know what they can do to help, especially circumcised women that are frigid, that they don't respond easily to sexual issues in bed. Yes, communication is very important. Sri Lanka, we all know that. Benga Oloke too says, Doyin, I'm just joining. Wow, I'm one of the fans of this platform. Bottom line, you are here to. I'm here. Oh, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm encouraged, and I thank you for that. Fadipe Bamishaye Ezekiel says it's a nice topic. Thank you. Nika says some men are born pleasers. Yes, Akin is a born pleaser. And I hope that many more men will do this thing with the aim of pleasing. I'm sure if you do it with the aim of pleasing, and I mean, I think it goes both ways. If the woman also does this with the aim of pleasing, it's probably going to make it a little bit more enjoyable for both of them. Two issues here: circumcised women are frigid not because they want to, but it's just because they don't feel it. We want the men to be a little bit more understanding, possibly for the men to find out those areas that they must have somewhere, from, like I said, from the crown of their head to the sole of their feet. It could be their toe, whatever it is that will tickle them. There must be something, and you must be able to find it out. We want the men to try real hard to find that out. And I also want to emphasize on a point that these circumcised girls going around, or women going around, because they feel that, you think that some people just love sex. It's not that they love sex, it's because they don't feel it and they keep going around until they find somebody that they're ready to kill for. So I want you to disabuse your mind and stop thinking they are prostitutes, they sleep around. Maybe they're circumcised and they just keep searching for that one man that will make them feel good. Let's continue this via comments on Facebook, and where all this will be posted on. I come on every Wednesday and Saturday Nigerian time 1 p.m. Please key into that wheresoever you're located anywhere in the world. I thank everybody's being here who has joined me today, and I thank those ones that honestly are going to spare data. I understand that that thing is not easy in Nigeria to spend data to watch these things. Please forgive me. I live in an environment that, you know, that really doesn't, so it makes me almost not understand, but I understand now, and I thank you all that will spare data to rewatch these and to watch for the first time. Please feel free to always put your comments down, and if you have anything that you would want me to talk about, like I always say, communicate with me. I would be more than glad to bring up these things so we all can learn off something. When we do this blunt and open talk, somebody grabs something off of it, and it sure helps. Maybe a circumcised lady is watching this and she's wondered why she's not been sexually satiated. She can say, oh, okay, well, was it because that? She might not even know. She might wonder why she's the only one that it doesn't mean anything to. And then she might understand that, okay, so it's not my fault that I'm like this. It's a man-made thing, and I'm sure, I mean, that's even going out of fashion. I don't think anybody circumcises anybody again, especially the women. Thank you all for being with me. Thank you for doing this with me again today. Join me again on Saturday morning at same time, 1 p.m. Let's continue, like I said, this discussion via comments. I appreciate you all. I wish you all a wonderful time. Midweek, I hope we're going to have a blessed week going to the end of it, and Let's meet again and do this on Saturday. If there are things that you think I can improve on, feel very free to communicate them to me. I'm more than willing to grow. I'm more than willing to improve. If I have referred to you openly, I mean, like my brothers, I assume I apologize if they do not like it. I mean, I just in my blunt, funny ways. If I have mentioned your name and you don't think you would like that, please forgive me. You know your sister, she just does it first and then she comes back to say sorry. I sincerely apologize if you do not like it, but I'm assuming it's okay with you. James Omomotola, please watch this podcast because it's coming to an end any moment from now. And by watch, and also remember, please leave your comment after you have done that. I thank you all for watching. And to those who are doing their birthdays today, especially Mommy JP, Kemi Adefule, and Ayu Alabi of Tri Group, a very happy birthday to you all. I wish you greater success in life, and I pray that this new year will be the beginning of new things in your lives. To everyone who's watched me today, thank you very much. Bye bye and God bless.